Hey guys, so after the Halloween special investigation that I did, the activity in the house picked up, like it does with any experiment or investigation, only this time the investigation was like a full night, so the residual energy that was left over from that investigation kind of carried on much longer than it normally does, where normally it's just a few days. This went on way past Halloween, and it did wake me up quite a few times in the process. So I've been going through that footage. I've not watched it all yet. I've still got a couple of days before Halloween and some after to go through, but here's what I've caught so far. So what fascinates me about this is right before I went to bed, I was sat playing that guitar, put it down, hit record, went to bed, and it almost feels like the spirit that was present is like having a go. Like it's seen me playing it and it's gone, I'm gonna do that, and it's used what energy it could to pluck a few strings or brush past them. That does whatever it can with the energy it has, and it just interested me, and it kind of made me think about the whole activity picking up after an investigation type deal, because whenever I do an investigation, like I say, the activity does pick up for a few days, and it kind of reminds me of, like, I don't know if you've ever had like a younger sibling or a niece or nephew or somebody that you've gone around and you show them a bit of attention, you know what I mean, you play with them, and then you get tired and you stop, and then they're not kind of done yet, they keep mauling you and they want to keep playing, and it kind of feels like that. I'm not saying that the spirits are children or anything like that, but it's kind of that, it has that same feel to it where I've shown them a bit of attention, and then they're not done yet just because I'm finished. They want to keep, they've got things they want to do, they want to say, and they keep kind of pushing that. So they obviously weren't getting enough attention messing around in here in the spare room, so they decided to take it out to the hallway and the stairs area. Now, you heard in the video, those stairs are creaky as hell, and they're really noisy, and our headboard's like right up against that wall, so any noises out there, like, you hear it as clear as day. In here, they can be a little bit muffled, sometimes you miss them, but out there, it's like you're up and you're alert, you've heard somebody in your house. And the spirit obviously knew that, because it continued to do it, and I was getting woken up in the early hours, and by the fourth night, I was frustrated. I was tired, and I was just getting a little bit pissed off with it, to be honest. So I decided to come in here, do a quick spirit box session, and just tell them what's what. Okay, guys, so it's 4 in the morning, and I've just been woken up again with something walking up and down the stairs. And this is actually the fourth night in a row I've been woken up like this. So I've decided I'm going to come in and I'm going to do a quick spirit box session and just tell the spirits to stop, basically, see if there's anything that they need, something that they want my attention for so urgently, and I don't know, just see if we can get some kind of answers out of it, really. I'm not going to mess around too much with the Spirit Box modulator. I've been having a little bit of trouble with it, so I'm just going to do a basic Spirit Box session today with my colourful speaker. Hello, is there anybody here? Is anybody here? Would you like to come forward and speak to me? I just heard you walking up and down my stairs. Whoever that was, are you still here? Can you tell me why you woke me up? You obviously woke me up for something. Okay, well, let me start then. I don't appreciate being woken up in the middle of the night with footsteps on the stairs, knocking on my door, anything like that. I do sessions like this so that you guys can come forward and speak to me, and in these sessions I invite you forward, but if I'm not doing that, I would prefer it if the house is kept quiet. When I'm trying to sleep, I don't want footsteps and people moving around. I want silence so that I can sleep. If I'm going about my business during the day, I want to be left alone. It is only during these sessions, or if I'm doing an experiment with a new bit of equipment, I invite you forward then to give you messages and to try and communicate, but only during them times, if that's alright. Can we do that? Can we keep it to just the sessions? Can you say anything? Can you at least tell me your name? Now, I didn't actually catch the name James during the Spirit Box session itself. Like, I heard something come out, but I didn't quite make it out and understand it in real time. Now, what's interesting to me is it was actually the first and last response that I got during the whole session. Like, I continued to ask questions after, got nothing, and as you saw in the video, I asked a lot of questions before and got nothing. Now, they say that the Spirit Box just spits out a lot of radio, but during that whole 5-10 minute session, I heard one word come through, and that was a valid, intelligent response to a question that I asked. And as a bonus, I walk away with the name of the spirit that was present. And now, despite me telling them to stop moving things around, the activity did continue. But interestingly enough, it was a little bit quieter about it. Now you can make of the spinning chair what you will, but while that was all happening, I left a little digital recorder on the desk rolling and it caught an EVP at the same time. Now, I'm going to play that EVP for you now. I'll play it about 3 or 4 times and I want you guys to let me know what you think it says. I'm not going to give you my interpretation of it straight away because I don't want to interfere with it. I just want to do a little experiment because I personally think this is a Class A EVP. I think it's pretty obvious what it says. It jumped out at me anyway, and I'm just curious to see if you guys hear the same thing before I put my translation on screen. So give it a listen, guys, and let me know what you think it says. Now, I personally think it says talk into the box, or like talk to the box. Now, as I said, I personally think this is a Class A EVP. I think it was very clear, it was relevant, it was a valid response, and to top it all off, it coincided with 2 other bits of activity with the K2 meter going off and the chair spinning. So all in all, I'm very happy with it as an EVP. Now, I am up to the final week of Halloween with just a few days before and a few days after still to review. Now, I have done some smaller experiments in the meantime, but for the sake of trying to show you these in chronological order, I do want to get through that Halloween chunk of footage first before putting those online. So as far as this video goes, guys, that's pretty much it. I hope you did enjoy it. Thank you all so much for watching, and as always, I'll post any and all activity as and when I get it.